Hey everybody, welcome back to Cerebral Tackle and our very first Real Talk weekly fishing news recap. It's where we're going to take all the stories that normally fall through the cracks during a given week, put them in a little package, wrap them up with a nice little bow, and give them to you here on either Thursday or Friday. I'm still going to do all the regular stories and the breaking news and all that good stuff, don't get me wrong. But this way we can handle a few more stories that would normally, kind of disappear on us, right? Let me know in the comments section what you think about this new format. So, what do we have on tap for this week? During the end of the episode, we're going to cover some of the very awkward and uncomfortable commentary that occurred during the latest BASS Elite Series event on Lake Champlain. You're not going to want to miss that bit of cringe. We're also going to cover how sharks are ruining striper fishing up in the LongIslandSound, a kid that caught $2,000 on a single cast, and here comes Florida man. He doesn't want to stop his fishing trip so bad that he beats up a pregnant woman to prove it. So, let's get to it. Our first story comes from the LongIslandSound, where the Connecticut Fish and Wildlife Department has had several reports of sandbar and sand tiger sharks attacking striped bass as they're being caught by anglers. In most of the cases, the anglers are catching these striped bass, getting them up close to the boat, and right before landing them, here comes the sharks to pick them off, often leaving the anglers with nothing but a little bit of head left on the hook. One angler named Elliot Thomas was actually drug on his kayak out to deeper water before the shark finally finished off his catch. He returned back to the same spot only to have another shark start circling him. He said he's been spending days trying to find a way to avoid these toothy creatures. Well, I guess that means the LongIslandSound is out for striper fishing at the moment. Well, here comes Florida man. A Boca Raton man by the name of Noe Marquez is currently out on $5,000 bond. Witnesses say that he shoved a pregnant woman, 6 months pregnant, to the ground and repeatedly kicked and punched her. Now you might ask what set off this violent outburst? Well, apparently, Marquez and the female were fishing underneath a bridge, and she was tired of it. She wanted to go. So what did she do? She grabbed his fishing rod, reeled it out of the water, and stormed off with it. And while I don't have the court documents in front of me, I can almost guarantee you a no contact order is in place. Next up, we have a bit of a feel-good story. A 14-year-old by the name of Connor Hulsa recently took a trip up to Lakeofthewoods. Now, while he didn't catch any big lunkers while he was up there, he did catch $2,000 in a single cast. He and his cousin were drift fishing with spinners when he felt something kind of heavy snag on his line. At first he thought he had a big fish, but it wasn't swimming right. Maybe he was hung, but it started coming in. It was really heavy. He got it up to the boat. His cousin helped him get it in. Lo and behold, it was a swollen, waterlogged wallet. Now, upon opening it up, well, his cousin dropped a few wordy dirts because inside they found $2,000 cash and a business card. Now, after talking it over with his father, they decided the best course of action was to draw out all the cash and give a call to the name on the business card, a gentleman by the name of Jim Denny. Now, it ends up the wallet indeed belonged to Mr. Denny, who was a farmer who had visited Lakeofthewoods a year earlier. Apparently his wallet got away from him while the boat was rocking back and forth. It kind of squeezed out of his pocket and went in the lake. It even left him strapped for cash when it come time to pay his resort bill to go back home. He said they had to float him the cash until he got home and got something worked out. Either way, he was sure missing that $2,000. Now you can imagine how surprised Mr. Denny was when he got a call from Connor. Think about it. Lakeofthewoods is a 1 million acre lake. And then catching his wallet, which is roughly the size of a deck of cards, the odds are incredible. Anyway, Mr. Denny was so excited that he packed up and went to go visit the kid in person to get his wallet. Now, of course, Mr. Denny, being a gentleman, offered the kid a cut. The kid refused. But however, they kind of struck a deal. Mr. Denny got the kid a custom Yeti cooler with his name on it and took the kid and his family out for a nice dinner. They've apparently made pretty good friends. Mr. Denny was so impressed with Connor that he said he would love to have him as a grandson and would fight for the kid if he ever needed it. Looks like the kid made a lifelong friend by doing the right thing. Now finally, there was some very cringeworthy and awkward conversation coming out of the impromptu Women of Bass coverage during the last Lake Champlain event for the BASS Elite Series. Now you might remember this whole Women of Bass segment was kind of hastily thrown together because of all the scheduling crap that occurred when they had to cancel day 2. Now Steve Bowman, a Bass Fishing Hall of Famer, kind of got off on a tangent talking about some of the Japanese anglers on tour. Well, you guys know me. I'm a big fan of JDM fishing, and I've had the occasion to speak with lots of Japanese anglers, had some great conversation, and love a lot of the tactics, techniques, and baits that come across from Lake Biwa over in Japan. For whatever reason, Bowman has taken a perceived language barrier as an unwillingness on the part of Japanese anglers to open up and share techniques and tactics. And here's what he had to say about it.
Oh, none of the Japanese anglers give anything. They don't care about any of that.
They want to hold all their secrets tight.
Right. And secrets aren't good for, I guess maybe they are if you can figure them out.
Really? They don't pass anything along? Tokyo rig, free rig, flick shake, iMotion, drop shot, Nico rig, the Zico and Inu rig? Come on, the list goes on and on. Man, they're sharing all the best stuff. Then Trait Zaldain kind of challenged Bowman as to why we don't hear more from the Japanese anglers live during these Elite Series events.
I think that's a good debate to have with some of them, but I don't speak Japanese, so I don't have to have that debate.
Have you guys encouraged them to speak Japanese on live? There is an international mix.
Why are you asking me that?
I'm just asking.
You know what?
Then he doubles down on the whole language shtick by confusing racial stereotypes and taking a slight dig towards Spanish-speaking people while talking about Japanese anglers. This drew very uncomfortable laughter from Mrs. Trait Zaldain, followed up with an "oh my gosh" at the end. Listen close, you'll hear it.
But then Koya can just say, no Espanol, no speaky English, whatever.
Well, no matter the hang-up with the commentary, Koya Vegeta got the last laugh by winning that Lake Champlain event. And congratulations, man, you are on freaking fire this year. It's been awesome watching you get this far. One has to wonder if this is really the kind of commentary Bass is looking for. You have Steve Bowman, who is also manager of angler relations, live on commentary, kind of talking about how Japanese anglers are holding things too tight to their vests, can't speak English, and then throwing out this no-speaky crap, somehow drawing Spanish-speaking people into the mix. It's really a bad look. And remember, this guy's in the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. In my personal opinion, not that it's worth anything, I think he kind of owes the guys a bit of an apology. It wasn't the right way to go. Come on, man, treat your anglers better. Anyway, that kind of wraps it up for us here today. I hope you enjoyed the new format. Please do me a favor, leave a comment, tell me what you think, like, share, even subscribe. And hopefully we'll get to see each other again soon. Until then, get out there on the water, friends. Keep it wet.